Hey everyone! Okay, so I have a special request for my next book. It's from my financial guru, Ross. He got me this book when I graduated college, and any questions that I have, I immediately ask him, or he just tells me what to do anyway. But, so it's called The Wealthy Barber, and he said this was the book that really got him interested in finance. And it was written over like 20 years ago, so some of the info is a little outdated, but all the the general idea is still accurate. So there's like some details that doesn't really apply to today's world, but all the general information is still the same. So I do have another financial video that I did, but if you don't know, I'm on a financial literacy journey, so I'm trying to learn more about just being more aware of what I spend and budget and blah 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 blah, all that stuff. So I also want to do this book because I found it very helpful. So it's not written like a textbook. It's written like a novel. Well, not a novel, but it has like a story. So there's these three characters and they're from different backgrounds. Like one is married and expecting a child and wants to buy a house. The other one, his sister, she's single but makes a ton of money and she also spends a bunch of money. And then the best friend is there and he's also single. So they have like different backgrounds that I think are helpful, and it's woven into the story of there's this barbershop in town and this guy is like the financial expert of the town. So people go to him to get their hair cut and then he gives them financial advice. So each chapter is a different month that they go and then they get all this financial advice and like they talk about it and things like that. So I thought that was helpful because it's not just like boring like facts, here's the definition, blah blah blah. It like explains what the jargon means, and it helps you learn about financial stuff. So a couple of the things that they talk about are, and I wrote them down so I wouldn't say them wrong. It talks about wills and life insurance, and these are important if you are married or have kids, and you don't have to be 65 before you get life insurance or before you get a will. Before you make a will, you should have those things if you are married or have kids or have assets. Because if you don't have those things, then if you die at 40 and you have a will, then you know who gets your stuff. But if you don't have a will, it goes to court. And the court might give things to people that you didn't want to have them. So yeah, important. So it also talks about retirement and Social Security. It talks about inflation, which I thought was really helpful because those aren't really things that I think about anyway. It talks about IRA, Roth IRA, 401k. There's a chapter about buying a house if you're in that part of your life that you're ready to buy. It also talks about spending and credit management, which is also really big because everyone has some sort of debt usually, especially consumer debt. Yeah. The most important part though is right at the beginning. It talks about 10%, and you should be investing 10% of all you make into long-term growth. And the thing that I didn't know that Ross taught me is to pay yourself first. So you should be your first bill that you pay every month. It shouldn't be your mortgage or your rent. It shouldn't be your electric bill or whatever it may be. It should be to pay yourself first, because what happens when you don't have a job or, after you retire? Don't you want to be able to do what you want? You want to be able to travel the world or spend money on your grandchildren or whatever it may be, whatever your dream is. Like, you have to have this money to do things. Where are you going to get the money if you don't save now, right? So that is the whole point of the book, and the goal is to start now. Doesn't matter how old you are, you should start right now. Doesn't matter if you're 18 or 45. If you're 45 and you haven't started now, it would be better to start now at 45 than at 61 when you're about to retire, right? Okay, So that is the whole point of the book, The Wealthy Barber. All right, so if you find this information helpful or you liked my video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and please subscribe.